What? Oh, we're starting? Oh, hello everyone! Welcome to Purim Spiel 2021 at Congregation B'nai B'rith. Get ready! Here we go! Chag Purim, Chag Gadol hu LaYehudim, Masechot Rashanim, Zmiro Rekudim. Havanarisha rash rash rash, Havanarisha rash rash rash, Havanarisha rash rash rash, Bara Ashanim. Purim day, a present giving holiday. Hum and tashin good to eat, cakes and candy sweet. Havanarisha rash rash rash, Havanarisha rash rash rash, Havanarisha rash rash rash, Bara Ashanim. Oh, once there was a wicked man, and Haman was his name, sir. He would have kicked out all the Jews, though they were not to blame, sir. So today will Mary be, so today will Mary be, so today will Mary be, and nosh some hum and tashin. Now Esther was the lovely queen of King Ahasuerus. When Haman said he'd hurt us all, oh my, how he did scare us. So today will Mary be, so today will Mary be, so today will Mary be, and nosh some hum and tashin. When Esther speaking to the king of Haman's plot made mention, said he, oh no he won't, I'll spoil his bad intention. So today will Mary be, so today will Mary be, so today will Mary be, and nosh some hummin' tashin'. This guest of honor, he shall be this clever Mr. Smarty, and high above us he shall swing at a little hanging party. So today will Mary be, so today will Mary be, so today will Mary be, and nosh some hummin' tashin'. Of all his cruel and unkind ways, this little joke did cure him. But don't forget, we owe him thanks for this jolly feast of Purim. So today will Mary be, so today will Mary be, so today will Mary be, and nosh some hummin' tashin'. Bum ba da da da, bum bum. And now, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and listen to the story of Purim.
So I was really excited for my kids to get here and to be in an environment where they were surrounded by Jewish children and surrounded by Jewish learning and immerse themselves into Jewish learning.
I have to say the background with CBB really helped them. I'm very happy that they continued on with Chabad in college. My son's in AE Pi right now. So I think it gave them a really good base, and that's what's important to me.
I think for me to see my daughter joining in Friday night services from college, all the years of Jewish learning brought her to that point is really exciting for me.
I'm a teacher, and it's so wonderful to have kids coming into my first grade classroom that have experienced the BHY education.
We didn't go with BHY when we first moved here because it wasn't in our budget, unfortunately. So we got to a place where it was. And with the scholarships, it really allowed us to very seamlessly change where we were sending our son for care. And it's worked out so incredibly well.
I'm a parent of young children. I chose to be Jewish. It's super important that we value and bring in all walks of life to our community. And at the gala, I feel like that is where we can do that. We can make everybody feel special.
We were really concerned about raising money for, and reaching our goal for the gala this year. We've gotten more support in sponsorships than we have in previous years. And it's just so inspiring to see the level of commitment and generosity from our community.
My son's experience at BHY has really kind of reignited my own Jewish identity. When he comes home with challah and he's super excited and he loves to sing songs, and he's really kind of reminded me what it was like to be a Jewish kid again, which has been really, really wonderful.
I did not grow up as a member of a temple, and my husband did. And there's such a difference. When my mom passed away up here in Santa Barbara, everybody rallied around. So you can't put a price on having a community of amazing people to help you through all stages of your life.
I can speak from my own experience as development chair and as a member of this community. It's one of the most warm, generous communities that I've ever been a part of.
Howdy, I'm Isaac. And I'm TJ. We've been watching the Purim Spiel at CBB our entire lives. We didn't want COVID getting in the way of that this year. We wanted everyone to enjoy a fun Purim Spiel. Keeping everyone safe while filming was a challenging, fun adventure. We had a great time making it. So, without further ado, grab a drink, get your snacks, ready your grogger, and enjoy CBB's 2021 Purim Spiel.
Shalom, my name is Cantor Mark, and I would like to share with you the most amazing scroll.
Shalom, my name is Rabbi Steve. It's a scroll about the Jews who lived a long, long time ago.
It has so many awesome parts, you simply won't believe how much the scroll can change your life.
Shalom, my name is Eric C. I would like to share with you the scroll of Queen Esther.
Shalom, my name is Jen Lewis.
Shalom, did you know that Haman was a super evil guy?
You can read all about it now.
Shalom, in this nifty scroll it's free, no you don't have to pay.
Shalom, my name is Mayana, and I can leave this scroll with you for you to just peruse.
Shalom! Shalom!
Shalom, I'll just leave it here. It has a lot of information you can really use.
Shalom.
Hi, my name is
Adonai!
Have a lovely home.
Shalom.
It's an amazing scroll. Bonjour.
Ni hao. Me llamo Eric C.
Are these your kids?
This scroll gives you the secret to the Purim Spiel.
Sound good? Purim Spiel with Mordechai. It's super fun.
Shalom.
Ding dong.
And if you let us start, we'll show you how it can be done.
No thanks. You sure?
That's fine.
Goodbye, then get out now.
Hey now!
You simply won't believe how much this scroll will change your life. This scroll will change your life. This scroll will change your life.
Shalom! Do you want to learn about Purim? I have a free scroll written by Esther. No, Rabbi Brenner, that's not how we do it. You're making things up again. Just stick to the approved dialogue. Hebrews, show him!
Shalom. My name is Rabbi Brenner.
And we would like to share with you the scroll of Queen Esther.
Shalom.
Ding dong.
This scroll. It's for you.
For me.
You see, you simply won't believe how much this scroll will change your life.
Shalom.
This scroll will change your life.
Shalom.
So you can live in.
Shalom.
We didn't die that day. And if you read the scroll, you'll see that Esther paved the way. spend this holiday with friends and family. We can fully guarantee that the scroll will change your life. This scroll will change your life. This scroll will change your life. This scroll will change your life.
The Book of Esther.
You know, we Jews, we got me a lot of stories, we do. We got good stories and bad stories, and we got a story to tell you today. It's a story about some excitement and some song and some danger even, yes sirree. It's a story about a town named Shushan. Yes sir, it's a story about that town and the woman who saved it.
What are you having, Mayor?
Manischewitz. Neat. Delicious. What about you, darling?
What?
Give us a dance, would ya?
I think he's so cute, and I think he's so sweet. How you let your friends encourage you to try and talk to me. But let me stop you there, oh, before you speak.
Not to the I to the no, no, no.
My name is
No.
Sign is
No.
My number is
No.
You need to let it go. You need to let it go. Need to let it go.
Not to the I to the no, no, no.
My name is
No.
My sign is
No.
My number is
No.
You need to let it go. You need to let it go. Need to let it go.
Not to the I to the no, no, no.
First you're gonna say you want me to dance. I'm not gonna do my dance for you.
Nope.
Call me beautiful, so original, telling me I'm not like other girls. I was in my zone before you came along. Now I'm thinking maybe you should go. Blah blah blah. I be like
Not to the I to the no, no, no.
All my ladies, listen up. If that boy ain't giving up, lick your lips, don't swing your hips. Get all you gotta say is my name is
No.
My sign is
No.
My number is
No.
You need to let it go. You need to let it go. Need to let it go.
Not to the I to the no, no, no.
My name is
No.
My sign is
No.
My number is
No.
You need to let it go. You need to let it go. Need to let it go.
Not to the I to the no, no, no.
Now that Vashti, she hightailed it out of town faster than a horse with no saddle, and that left the mare high and dry. And as the months went on, that old mare, he got pretty lonesome.
I need a new wife. Heyman, what should I do?
Mayor, you're the most powerful man in town. Any woman be lucky to have someone like you. I'm sure they'll come along. Well, wouldn't you have it?
Howdy.
Hey! You there? Hey! You there? You there? Hey! You there? Yeah. Hey! Hey! You there? You there? Hey! You there? What? Hey! What? There! What? Hey! Hey! You there? I see you over there. Come here! I want you to come here. One time! Please, release. Hey! You there? You there? I see you over there. Hey! I see you everywhere. Please come and sit right here. Hey! How are you doing? This chair. We could go see a movie. Right here. I heard you were a groupie. Just call me next Tuesday. Hey! You there? What? Hey! What? There! What? There! Hey! Hey! You there? You there? Hey! There! There! Oh. Hey! You there? Okay. I see you over there. One time. I want you to come here. Sit down.
I haven't seen you in here before.
Well, I spend most of my days down at the schoolhouse.
Well, why don't you come down to my office and you can tell me all about that school of yours?
I'd be delighted.
Now you know that Esther, she done have herself an uncle.
Shalom! Hey, take it easy, pal.
I can play wherever I want.
Well, I'm the sheriff in this town, and that means you can play where I say you can play. And besides, you're not that good at guitar.
I don't take orders from any man. And I'll have you know, I'm the best guitar player this side of the Euphrates.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I can read the Torah and then dance the hora.
I can wear a kippah and stand on the bima.
We can do most anything. Can you bake a challah?
No.
Well, neither can I.
Anything you can sing, I can sing louder. I can sing anything louder than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can buy, I can buy cheaper. I can buy anything cheaper than you.
50 cents.
40 cents.
30 cents.
18 cents.
No, you can't.
10 cents.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Anything you can sing, I can sing deeper. I can sing anything deeper than you.
No, you can.
Yes, I can.
No, you can.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
I can sing the Kaddish faster than a flicker.
I can do it quicker and a little slicker.
I can live on matzo balls.
And only on that?
Yep.
If you want to get fat. Any note you can sing, I can sing longer. I can sing any note longer than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Wow. Any note you can sing, I can sing faster. I can sing anything faster than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. 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 Anything you can do, I can do, Brenner. I can do anything, Brenner, than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
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 Yes, I can't.
Well, stay out of my sight.
No promises.
I hear the money for the mayor's new building is coming in on Stagecoach tomorrow.
That there is easy money.
Let's go ride out tonight and get it.
We can set up an ambush by the road.
You still got that dynamite? Woo! Yes, sir. Imagine what you could do with all that money.
I wanna be a billionaire, so freaking bad. Buy all of the things I never had.
Wanna be on the cover of Voices CBB, smiling next to Daniel, Mark, and Steve. Oh, every time I close my eyes, I see the burning spotlight. A different prayer every night. No, I swear the world better prepare when I'm a billionaire. Yeah, I would have a shoe like this one. I would be the rabbi.
Every day poor and give some food to that guy.
I'd probably do something like Paul Z, putting advertisements in the E-News Weekly.
Give away some souvenir, like here lady, have this.
And last but not least, something super darn Jewish. It's been a couple months we've been quarantined, so you can call me Eric C, minus the teens though.
Get it? I'll probably visit with the younger kids and for sure bake a lot more than the others did.
Yeah, can't forget about me, Linda. Every time I pray, I'm gonna have my own Torah.
Oh, every time I close my eyes, I see the burning Shabbat light. A different prayer every night. Oh, I swear the world better prepare for when I'm a billionaire. Be a millionaire, so freaking bad.
Yeah! I gotta warn the mayor. He's about to be robbed. Mayor, just down at the saloon and I heard a bunch of bandits saying they were going to rob your stagecoach tomorrow.
My stagecoach? Thank you for telling me. I'll send my men to stop them at once. As a reward, please take my finest horse, Zoom. You'll find him hitched right outside.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor! I was just down at the saloon and this horrible Jew wouldn't listen to me. I just can't let that stand. I want them out of here by the 13th of Adar.
I'm the bad guy. Duh.
Fine, Haman, whatever. Just get out to my stagecoach at once. A fine young man just informed me it's about to be robbed.
Word spread fast through the town of Shushan. Yes, sirree. It was a bad time for the Jews. They had to be out by next Friday, the 13th of Adar. It was difficult for everybody, but especially for the mayor's new wife, Esther.
Esther, you have to tell him.
I can't.
Come on, Esther. He'll change his mind if he knows you're Jewish. Haman has got to be stopped. And besides, it's in your contract. You talk to the mayor. I'll deal with Haman. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
I can hear you, but I won't. Some look for trouble, while others don't. There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day and ignore your whispers, which I wish would go away. Oh.
La 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 la.
Whoa.
La 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 la.
But I'm his wife. You're just a ringing in my ear, and if I heard you, which I don't, it's Haman's wrath I fear. All the Jews I've ever loved are living in this town. I'm sorry, Mordecai, but I think I must back down. I've had my bar mitzvah, I don't need something new. I'm afraid of what I'm risking if I follow you into the unknown. Into the unknown. Into the unknown.
La 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 la. Going, you know what to do. We will all follow you
into the unknown. Mayor, there's something I've got to tell you. But I'm afraid to.
Don't be afraid. What is it, my dear?
You know how Haman's planning to get rid of all the Jews?
Yes. What of it?
Well, there's something I ain't told you. I'm Jewish.
What?
So if the Jews go, I go.
I can't let that happen. But it's too late. Haman is already out there.
Haman, I'm calling you out.
You again?
You can't run me and my kin out of this town without a fight.
Then draw, you scoundrel!
Well, you know that Mordecai, he got the better of that Haman that day. Yes, sirree. The town of Shushan was saved by his bravery and by the bravery of Esther. And all the Jews could celebrate, but you know, no one really knows what happened to that Mordecai, that mysterious man. Well, some say he went off to Babylonia. I wouldn't know about that.
Times have changed, and we've all been in quarantine since the planet Earth got a shock when the virus stopped the clock. If today we didn't all have to stay at home, instead of being on your homepage, we would all be on the stage.
In olden days, a spiel on Purim was looked on right here in person, but now God knows anything goes.
good sermons too, which once were Q&As. Now we all hear in RPJ zooming pros. Anything goes.
The world has gone mad today, and Zoom's good today, and school's hard today, and day's night today.
When most Jews today are stuck at home today, just eating matzo balls.
And though I just became a father, please know that you're not a bother when you propose. Anything goes.
When Grandmama, whose age is 80, in Zoom rooms playing mahjong in her wardrobe, anything goes.
When mothers go to work and close the door, they don't want to be disturbed working from their homes. Anything goes.
On Yom Kippur, we watch the services looking like something filmed in the studios. Anything goes.
If eating outside you like, if the beach you like, if a hug you like, if a smile you like.
If no mask you like or seeing friends you like, well, those are all big no's.
And you can reach me any time of day, even if I am far away and I propose. Anything goes.
Saying your prayers you like, if bar blues you like, if guitar you like, if counter mark you like, if more skills you like, with all our staff you like, nobody will oppose.
And though COVID can't last forever, we'll get through this all together. We're Jewish pros. Anything goes.
Anything, anything, anything.
Anything goes.
Lewis Bros.
Hi, everybody. All right, now that you have seen Isaac and TJ's twisted, brilliant version of the Purim story, I want to take just a few minutes to tell you the story the way a little bit closer, perhaps, to the way it's been told for centuries. Obviously, I'm going to be telling it in English, and that's not the way it's been told in other lands and other places. But here's the story. It takes place about 2,500 years ago in the land of Persia, the Empire of Persia, actually, which is what we would consider today Iran. And this is in the period after the destruction of the first temple, when the Jews have been carried away from the land of Israel, first by the Babylonians, and end up in Persia when Persia conquers Babylonia. And most of the action takes place in the capital of Persia, which is a city of Shushan. In Shushan, there's a king. The king's name in Hebrew is Ahasuerus. The other main characters are the queen. The main queen of the story is Esther. Her uncle, Mordecai, the Jew. The villain, Haman. And I know you're out there. I hope you have something to make noise with. If you do, whenever I say that name, Haman, make as much noise as you can. I can't hear you anyway, so make as much noise as you can. All right, the story starts with King Ahasuerus throwing a party. And to this party he invites people from all over his empire, from distant lands, and the party lasts for 6 months. It's a half-year long celebration. At the end of the 6 months of celebration, he holds a 7-day blowout party. The king is having a party for the men in his palace, and the queen at that point, her name is Vashti. The queen is having a party for the women in her palace, and this king, Ahasuerus, one of his primary characteristics is that he loves to drink. And in his party, he has become exceedingly drunk, and in his drunkenness, he calls for his wife Vashti to come and dance for all of the men in his party. When Vashti, in the women's palace, the women's party, gets the word that the king wants her to come and dance for the men in the men's party, she refuses. The king, who is, even when he's sober, he's not particularly intelligent. He is a stupid king, and he's drunk. And when he gets the word that Vashti refuses to come and dance for him, he's completely baffled, just doesn't know what to do. And he gets advice from one of his advisors, who says, King, if you allow this to stand, if you allow Vashti to get away with this, to refuse to come at your command, this will be a problem throughout the kingdom, because everywhere the women will refuse to obey the commands of their husbands. So this is an early story of women's revolution, a feminist uprising led by the Queen Vashti, and the king, at his advisor's recommendation, banishes Vashti. And the party kind of runs down to a quick end. And in the morning, the king wakes up with a terrible hangover, and he calls for Vashti, and they say to him, Vashti's gone. You banished her. And so the king says, well, can somebody find me a new queen? And he says, and make sure she's pretty. He's not interested in smart. He's not interested in kind or generous. All he's concerned about is a pretty woman. And so the messengers go out throughout the entire empire looking for a beautiful woman to replace the Queen Vashti. The messengers come eventually. They travel through the entire Persian Empire. They come to the home to a Jewish home. It's the home of a Jew named Mordechai, who lives there with his niece, whose parents have died. His niece's name is Esther. And the messengers identify Esther as the right woman to bring back to the palace to marry the king. And Mordechai, they have no choice in the matter. And Mordechai, as she's leaving, gives Esther the instruction, do not tell anyone that you're Jewish. She's taken to the palace, and Mordechai follows, and he takes up his position outside of the palace, where he attempts to sort of keep an eye on things and know what's going on inside the palace. His niece is in there. While he is outside the palace one day, he overhears two people plotting. They're speaking a language other than Persian. We don't know what language they're speaking, but Mordechai apparently knows a lot of languages. He overhears the plot, and he reports the plot to the palace, and these two people who are plotting against the king's life are captured and they're hung. And it's recorded in the story of the life of the king. At this point, Esther is in the palace, Mordechai is outside of the palace, and at this point, a new figure appears on the stage in the story, and this man's name is Haman. Make noise. Haman is appointed as the king's prime minister. For whatever reason, the king elevates Haman to the most powerful position in the empire, and Haman issues an order, which is that whenever Haman goes out into the city, wherever he goes, people have to bow down to him. Most people comply. But one day, Haman is walking outside in the town. Everybody's bowing down to him, except for one person, and that is Mordechai. Haman doesn't even notice, but his servants do, and they go over to Mordechai and they say, why are you not bowing down to Haman? You know that's the law. And Mordechai explains to them that he's Jewish. The messengers come back, the servants of Haman come back, they tell Haman what's going on. This guy is not bowing down to you. He says it's because he's Jewish. And Haman is consumed with rage, and he becomes determined to punish not just Mordechai, but all of Mordechai's people, the entire Jewish people. Haman goes to the king, and he says to the king, Your Majesty, there's something I need to talk to you about. There's a certain people in your kingdom who do not follow our customs. They do not obey your laws. And they have these space lasers that they use to set forest fires all over Persia. And the king says, really? Space lasers? And Haman says, that's what I've heard. And the king says, what are we going to do? And Haman says, here's what we should do. I will contribute a tremendous amount of money to the royal treasury if you will let me take care of them. And by which he means do away with them. And the king says, Haman, keep your money. I don't need your money. Just do whatever needs to be done with these people. And so Haman issues a decree has posters made, and they are displayed all over the kingdom, saying that on the 13th day of Adar, the Jews are going to be put to death because of their space lasers. The entire city, when they see these posters, is dumbfounded and silent, and the king and Haman sit down to eat. Mordecai, who's outside of the palace, when he hears about this decree against the Jewish people, he goes walking through the city and he lets out a huge, bitter howl. I once told this story, and I howled at this point in a way that made the cantor jump out of his cantorial robes. Mordecai walked in the city and he howled, "Ah!" And when he sat down outside of the palace, he dressed himself in sackcloth and ashes. And the word got to Esther in the palace that there's a man named Mordecai sitting outside of the palace dressed in sackcloth and ashes. And Esther sends clothing down to Mordecai. Put on these clothes. Mordecai sends the clothing back to Esther. Esther sends a message back to Mordecai saying, "Why are you sitting out there in sackcloth and ashes?" Mordecai sends back a copy of the poster about the Jews being put to death. Esther sends back a message saying, "What are we going to do?" And Mordecai says, "You, Esther, are the only one who can do anything." And Esther sends back a message to Mordecai saying, "I can't do anything. Everybody knows that if you go and try to talk to the king without being summoned, the penalty is being put to death." And Mordecai sends a message back to Esther saying, "Esther, you are the only one that can save us. You have to go and talk to the king." And Esther sends back a message saying, "Okay, I'll do it." The next day she puts on, actually 3 days, she and her maidens fast and pray, and all of the Jews of the city, of the empire, are fasting and praying. At the end of 3 days, Esther puts on her best clothes, and she goes and stands at the entryway to the king's courtroom, his throne room. She stands there in the doorway. When the king sees Esther standing there in the doorway, he is blown away by her beauty. He raises his golden scepter toward her. And Esther approaches and she touches the tip of the golden scepter. The king says, "Esther, wow. What is it? What's your request? Why have you come?" And Esther said, "Your Majesty, I have a request." And the king said, "Up to half my kingdom, Esther. Half my kingdom. Ask whatever you want." And Esther says, "My only request is that you and Haman come to dinner with me tonight." The king says, "That's it?" She says, "That's it." And that night, they have dinner. The king and Esther and Haman. At the dinner, they're drinking, they're eating, they're laughing, they're singing. Finally, the king turns to Esther and says, "Esther, what is your request? What is it that you want?" And Esther says to the king, "Your Majesty, I'd like to have dinner with the two of you again tomorrow." And the king says, "That's it?" And she said, "That's it." They go home. Haman has never been in a better mood. He has never been in a better mood. However, when he's walking out in the street, he sees Mordecai there. Mordecai again refuses to bow down. And Haman, he had been so happy, but he's so mad. This brings us to that night. That night, the king has trouble sleeping. And he calls for whoever is out there to bring him some hot milk and to read to him the story of his life. When he's hearing the story of his life, he hears about the story of the two people who had been outside of the palace plotting to kill him and how his life was saved by Mordecai the Jew. And he asks the person who's reading to him, did I reward Mordecai? What did I do to thank him? And the person who's reading doesn't say anything about it here. And so the king calls for Haman, who is outside of the royal bedroom, to come in, and Haman comes in. The king says, Haman, I need some advice. If you were me, and you really wanted to honor someone who has done you a huge favor, what would you do for them? And Haman thinks to himself, the king wants to honor somebody who's done him a big favor. It must be me. And he says, King, listen to me. If you really want to honor somebody, here's what you should do. Dress that person in your royal robe, with your royal crown, put them on your royal horse, and have them led through the city saying, this is the way the king honors somebody that he wants to honor. And the king says, Haman, brilliant, brilliant. I'd like you to do that for Mordecai the Jew. Poor Haman. He has to do it. He leads Mordecai through the city on the horse with the robe and the crown. And shouting, this is the way the king honors the one that he wants to honor. Next day, it's time for dinner again. And at the dinner, it's Esther, and it's the king, and it's Haman. And they're feasting, and they're drinking, and they're laughing. And at a certain point, the king turns to Esther and says, Esther, there's got to be something that you want. What is your request? And the queen, Esther, says, Your Majesty, I have one small request. My life. And the king says, what? And she says, my life. And the king says, Esther, you're not in danger. Who would be wanting to hurt you? Who would want to kill you? And Esther slowly turns to Haman and says, this man has decreed that my people shall be exterminated. I am a Jew. He has decreed death for my entire people. At which point, the king runs out of the room. And Haman falls on the floor, begging for his life to Esther. And the king comes back into the room and he sees Haman pleading with his wife. And he says, oh, I can't believe it. And he gives the command that Haman shall be strung up and put to death on the gallows that he had erected for Mordecai the Jew. And that is the story. Whatever you saw earlier, that's more of the story the way it's been told for 2,500 years.